Okay, let's see here. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so. I appreciate you watching. My name is Spoken Anthony, or just Anthony, whatever you want to call me. Now, this is one of the most interesting things I come across my attention this week was a beef or tension between Godfrey and Lord Jamar, and it seems to be over the simplest of things. From what I've gathered from watching a few video clips, I'm going to go over this video off of Godfrey's channel. He goes more in depth about it. I didn't watch the whole entire thing. I think I watched like the first 5 minutes. It's a 25-minute video, so I don't expect you to watch the whole thing. In fact, go to his channel and watch this whole entire live. I think it's almost 2 hours long, his show with him and his co-workers. But from what I understand of it, Lord Jamar wanted to do a flat earth debate. Godfrey set up. Jamar wanted to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson. It didn't happen. deGrasse Tyson was busy, obviously, so another scientist came on, debating him. Jamar didn't look the best in that situation. People were talking and mocking him the whole entire time. And I think it's more one of the things that I feel like Jamar is more embarrassed that Godfrey still put out the show, still put out the video clips and everything else. Because outside of that, Godfrey has always stood 10 toes down in solidarity when it came to Jamar. If it wasn't him going to his show, it's him refusing to do any more Vlad TV interviews, and he just always spoke very highly of him. So it's just kind of odd that instead of this coming out on the internet, that they're not talking about this in person, really. And I feel like this is more of an ego thing and a pride thing that Jamar's probably feel more hurt than anything else. Now, when it comes to Jamar, I am familiar with him. Not so much for his music. I know a lot of people kind of get on me for that, but I'm more familiar with his when he was on Oz. That's where I first remember him from. And from Godfrey, it's not necessarily because of his comedy specials, but more of the shows that he was on a long time ago, like I love the 70s, I love the 90s, 80s, Millennial, etc. like that. He did those shows. So after that, I have followed their careers. I became a fan of both of them. And part of the reason why I used to watch Vlad TV interviews was because of those two. And when both of them left, and because of other reasons, I stopped watching Vlad TV interviews. So let's go ahead and play this video and go ahead and go from here. And I'm on his channel, so if you haven't subscribed to his channel, it's pretty interesting.
About this, what you call it, the situation with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, say it,
Jamar
nigga.
situation. The Lord Jamar situation.
He don't give a fuck about me. He give a fuck about you. That's what he give a fuck. He don't give a fuck. He's disrespectful to me.
How do I know about this situation? It's because it just came up again. People
I
say,
sent it to you.
And one thing I noticed about Godfrey, that he looks pretty tired about the whole entire situation because, that was his good friend for the longest time.
I sent it to you. I was very uncomfortable with. I consider you like a very close, like a brother to me.
Yes,
I love
sir.
you.
Yes,
so
sir.
when I saw it, it was uncomfortable for me because I fuck with Lord Jamar as well.
Right.
Got to know you, Dante. I love you too. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Now, so I didn't even call Lord. I usually call him here. I call him with the kids whenever he's do something I think is funny or whatever.
Yeah.
So I immediately hit you up and you said, "Yo, I didn't even see it. I'm not gonna watch it."
I didn't see it because I'm like, what is there to talk about? And he's like, and so
Why did you think there was nothing to talk about?
And you see, it's just a breakdown of communication between friends. That's what it really seems like at the end of the day.
In general, why do you think that it was resolved?
He went at us first. Then he got mad because of the side date. And then we went line by line.
With the first thing was he came on. He said he wanted a debate. We gave him. I didn't know. I tried to get Neil. I said this before.
Neil deGrasse,
he
right?
Said he wanted to debate Neil. We got.
Which I find it interesting that he wanted to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson, a man who has spent his whole entire life studying science and physics and astrospace and quantum theory and God knows what else. I'm not saying Jamar is not an intelligent man, but sometimes you gotta know where you stand when it comes to your knowledge base at times.
I couldn't get Neil. I got Professor Dave. If you say this is what your belief is, the flat earth, then you should. I would think you would be ready to defend it.
He didn't
and
do it right.
Nobody
He
did
looked
it. Nobody
right.
did it maliciously.
No, nothing.
Then
No setup.
Then there was no setup. There was
No.
nothing malicious. So he keeps saying it was malicious and somebody set him up. We showed the video where he said, "I'll debate."
And he said Neil deGrasse Tyson is an actor. He's not a real scientist.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so,
Again, ego.
we set it. I won't say
set
set
it
it
up.
up because I don't want to use set it up because nobody's. And he was supposed to because I didn't have.
I asked him if he wanted to come on and do the debate, and I said it would be great. And what's funny is he always says they're trying to get views. Who the fuck is not getting views on a podcast? You always want views. I thought it'd be a great, yeah. He's trying to do what he's doing. He's trying to get views.
We just watched Don Lemon cry because
right.
he
If you
got
don't
views.
get views, you don't get money. You might.
You know the most interesting thing about this is I still remember when Jamar left Vlad TV. He started his own podcast, and I'm not gonna lie. When it first started off, it wasn't the best. It got better with time. It got a whole lot better with time. But you know, Godfrey was again right there on his podcast on a lot of episodes when he was first starting out.
Monetize. Why are you on? Are you on there for charity? Are you on there for the fucking help? You're on there for views. And what you're doing, you're obviously doing it for views. Because I was like, I don't want to answer that shit. Let's move on. Yeah. So when he's like getting for views, like as if, like I didn't get views before you came. I don't give a fuck if you did a great fucking episode. So what? I still get views. I'm fine.
And you're not living. You can't live off of just his views.
Right,
Like the show's been going. We do this every Tuesday for 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
You were doing it before me, but I've been on the show with you at least 3 years.
Yeah.
I think so. In my humble opinion, I think the flat Earth debate thing. I think most flat earthers, and I want to preface this by saying,
You know, the whole entire flat Earth debate thing is a very confusing thing to me. It seems like as we progress with technology, we have regressed in our beliefs. And for some reason, we are starting to disbelieve science and things of that nature. I never understood that. Now, if you want to question how things look on a world map, depending on where your perspective or where your map is, I can understand that 100%. Like the United States is the center of a map, but if you look at Australia, they're the center of a map. Same thing with China, etc., etc. Depending on what belief system, the different countries may look different sizes on a world map. I get that too. But whenever you have this standpoint about round and flat, you kind of lose me there.
and that I go by the scientists and the people I love and I trust, and what I've seen, I'm not a flat earther. I believe the Earth is round. So I want to say that first.
Well, there's proof.
But with that being said, I don't think that once you in that world, that's what it is. I think trying to bring somebody in to prove otherwise is just a show.
But my thing is,
okay, so I'm going to try to fast forward a little bit to where to get to more of the conflict. That thing. Give me one moment.
I thought
I think it gets
to fail. Like, yeah, you set me up for. I said, you're a grown ass man.
There
If
you
you
go.
didn't want to debate, I'll go. All right, fuck it. We don't have to debate. I don't care. I'm not for. Nobody is forced to come on a podcast. You're not forced to do anything. No one forces you on it.
Also, can we just admit that Godfrey's like 50 years old and he still looks like he's in his 30s? If there is an argument for anybody to ever be a vampire, it'll be Godfrey.
Interview, unless you're like promoting a movie or some shit and you got to pump some shit up, you have to do it. But nobody's forcing you. I don't.
Right.
I just asked. I say, hey man, yo, that would be dope. Come on here. Yeah. And then he said we set him up because before even Dave got on the video, he was like, fuck that, fuck Dave. Called him the F word and all kinds of shit. And the
so
dude,
it got
Dave
a little
stood his
crazy.
ground, was like, oh, you mad because you don't know shit?
Yeah, no, it got a little crazy.
It got crazy. I had no idea we'd get that crazy.
I did see some of that interview, and even though I do have a lot of respect for Jamar, he did start losing his composure when he was losing that debate. And I will give kudos to that guy for holding his composure and still trying to speak facts based by evidence, not just a belief that, in large, people are getting off the internet. It seemed like once COVID happened, a lot of people regressed when it comes to their beliefs. They started believing in aliens more. And I'm not saying aliens not real, but aliens, angels, flat Earth. It's just been a lot of stuff, a lot of old timey stuff that we haven't had real proof on that's just started coming out. Yeah, it's just interesting.
I didn't even know. I was like, oh shit, it's like that. And he told me to cut it off in the thing, in the video I watched. He said I told him to cut it off because he knew to cut it off. I cut it off because I know you, and I was like, as a friend, I was like, let me cut it off. But you choked up.
He implied that he made you cut it off. That he punked you into cutting it off.
Yeah, no, so that I don't like that.
Now I got punked now?
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
like
that. And that's my guy. I don't like that. But the deal is, so again, I think on that tip right there, that's when it becomes.
And again, this whole entire thing can be resolved or addressed with a simple conversation between two. I'm surprised this isn't like if you want to put it out on the internet, the disagreement, why not just have like a video call between the two and just have it aired out that way so you both can get views, right? But I can understand Godfrey wanting to tell his point of view of the circumstances that has happened.
Comes a little bit of a show.
yeah.
But with that being said, you have the right to believe whatever you want to believe. We have to. What's going on with everything with me, right? So you clear. I think that it's becoming. If we could disagree respectfully,
There's nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with that. What's you and Lord Jamar?
I don't got no beef with him.
I have no
He
beef.
has-
I
Why
don't
are you
have any
talking
beef
so
with him.
spicy?
Because
I have
he's
no
talking
beef with
spicy
him.
because he's making it up. He's lying.
I didn't like. I
He's
just
like-
because
it's
I
all
love
he's
you
doing
so.
is he's
I love
lying.
y'all. Yo, especially.
But I have no beef with Lord Jamar. He
have
thinks
no-
we
I
set him
didn't-
up with that stupid interview because the earth is a shape. It's fucking dumb. I don't give a fuck if the earth is parallelogram. It doesn't affect me going from here to there. If I felt it, I go, oh shit, they're right. I don't give a fuck.
But this is
I
the
just
thing.
wanted to see a
You-
debate.
Yeah, I don't
And I
like-
wanted to see
You
people-
took the L. You took the L and you couldn't take the L. And then you said niggas drugged you. Nobody drugged you.
Yeah, there's always people. It's sad when people just can't lose with dignity, respect, and honor anymore.
Called him up and I said, yo, if this is what you think, I want to be clear. I called him up. We texted back and forth. I can show you the text. I was like, I would have never done that. The same way I bought you a 12.
You smoked the same thing he smoked.
Of course. What, you think I gave him a separate weed from me?
I'm just asking.
He said he was out of sorts because.
What was in this drink?
And then he said.
Yo, the earth is flat.
Check it out.
The earth is flat. I don't know
You
what's in
nigga,
this
you
drink.
better,
Yo,
the earth better be round with him. How much I paid for that McAllen?
And then he said, yo, I think Godfrey is going to go back on Vlad. Watch. He's not going to do it because I brought it up. When the fuck did I say I was going to go back on Vlad? I don't even have a beef
This
with
is
Vlad.
a point to discredit you. That's all it is.
I know, but it's corny.
But it's lies.
But I said I would address it. I didn't want to watch this shit in the first place.
You told me that.
I was like, what for?
Hold on. Let me
I
say
don't-
this to the
wait,
world.
no.
They didn't even know it existed. I called Godfrey and say, y'all watched Lord Jamar last.
And the whole entire Vlad TV thing, why even bring him up anymore? Y'all both left. It should be dead in the water. It doesn't matter if Godfrey's going to go back and, do Vlad. For what I understand, Godfrey did Vlad for free. And he knew he was doing it for free because that's the kind of man Godfrey is. From my understanding, if I remember correctly, Jamar did not know Vlad was paying other people and he felt like he was being taken advantage of. And that was the other thing. You see, Jamar has a habit of doing things in an old school sense that people are just going to be straight up and honest with you and transparent. He didn't realize he was dealing with somebody who's trying to run a business, and a businessman can take advantage of you to get ahead and grow his business, and do it without paying you, all under the guise of friendship. Then he's gonna do that. Of course, that's not a real friend, but either way, if Godfrey does choose to go back on Vlad, that's 100% Godfrey's choice. Do I think he should? No. There are plenty of great platforms out there now that are much better than Vlad TV, in my opinion. Like the Art Dialogue. I love that program. Hey, he could go on Tasha K. That would be an amazing interview, actually, if you went on Tasha K. I'm actually well for that. But, there's so many other platforms now that, that's outside of Vlad that do interviews. That will have a great result.
Last night he went. You said I'm not even watching that shit.
I don't want to watch. It's because it's like, how old are we? This is like bitch shit. I'm sorry, it's bitch made shit. And his
like
fucking fans
It's
can
bitch
go
shit,
fuck
it's
themselves.
bitch shit,
No,
and I'm not
his
sorry.
fans can go fuck themselves. Fuck you. Unsubscribe. And the guys that subscribe, fuck you. You never liked me in the first place. Don't come to my shows. Don't come to nothing. Because you come live, because you know what the fuck's going to happen. Come live with that same motherfucking energy, dude. Like, stay the fuck away from me. Stay the fuck from everything. Unsubscribe. Is this what we doing? I'm unsubscribing. You bitch. Who cares? And unsubscribe. Why are you telling me? That's bitch-made shit to me.
I agree.
Who are these? These are supposed to be men here? Get the fuck out of here, man. You're supposed to be a man, and you acting like a fucking bitch? That's what's going on. It's like, dude, like I said, he's probably going to Vlad. First of all, we both called Vlad on a conference call when Vlad said what he said about the minister.
You gotta explain.
What?
Yeah,
you gotta
fuck
explain.
that, the minister.
You're going into this, and you gotta.
I'll never forget. Forget about that. You know what the sad part is? Whenever Vlad felt that he was being slighted or discriminated against, he'll go the whole press tour on his show and the Breakfast Club. And if you don't agree with him, you're 100% wrong. He talks down to people about the Jews and all this other kind of stuff. But whenever we want to hold him accountable for the people that we respect, that's part of the communities that help develop us and that we're a part of, he doesn't care. And that was a big part of why I stopped watching Vlad TV once they exposed that.
Explaining the whole.
Hold on. Y'all going too far.
Which one?
Who the fuck? Do you know a dude that would say I'm undescribed? Do you know one nigga that would go, I'm subscribing to you?
Yeah, his fans. I'm unsubscribing.
All right,
I
go
go,
ahead.
just unsubscribe.
All right, go ahead. Y'all can finish. My bad.
Because they think it's like, oh, you unsubscribe. I'll be fine.
I don't know nobody.
I don't give a fuck.
That.
But my thing is, I did Lord.
You have a friend
Hold
that
on.
would type
I
that.
did Lord Jamar's podcast for like 3-4 years with Raw Digger at the Black Lady Theater in fucking Brooklyn. I would take the train all the way down because it was Lord Jamar. It was Raw Digger. I wanted to be around that,
and I loved it.
And I didn't. Guess what? I didn't get paid for that shit. And then he said that he put thousands of dollars in my pocket. How the
Yeah, he
fuck are you?
definitely said that.
Why are you lying? You didn't put shit in my pocket because you were taking the money. And I didn't even want anything because I just like, it's Lord Jamar. I do shit for free. If you're my man, I'm gonna do shit for free. You did not put any fucking money in my pocket. Thousands? Get the fuck. I make thousands telling jokes. That's what the fuck I do.
Yes, you do.
I get thousands. You've been to my shows. Packed shows. I make
Sold
thousands telling fucking jokes on the weekend.
All right.
That's how I make my money.
On some Big Brother shit.
But he didn't pay me ever.
100%.
He would say, oh, you get this amount of money, maybe $100. But there was a point where he wasn't giving us any money anymore, and I didn't care. You did not put money in my pocket. Stop lying. What are you doing? And another.
I mean, from what I heard, Lord Jamar didn't lie. He did put thousands in your pocket. Depending how many shows y'all did together, that few hundred could turn to thousands easily. I get what Godfrey's saying. He didn't care about the money. There were plenty of shows he did for free without getting paid. But again, I'm just going by the context. Just by listening to it from what I'm hearing, then yes, Lord Jamar didn't lie. He put thousands in your pocket. It may not have been thousands all at once. Like each show you got thousands. But it sounds like it may eventually turn into thousands. You only got to do, like, 4 shows at 300 a pop or 300 a piece, and that's over 1,000 right there. So I'm just saying.
The thing he said, like, okay, when I did Vlad for free. I saw his show. I said, oh, I want to get on there. When I was at SiriusXM, one of my dudes was like, yo, I know Vlad's people. I'm going to hook it up. I forgot the dude's name. I said, cool. So I got on Vlad. Met Vlad, we have the same barber. I said, cool. Got on his shit. I didn't give a fuck about the money. Man, I was doing VH1 for fucking.
You know, now it's back when Vlad was still trying to fit into the black culture. You know, now he doesn't give a care. But, you know, now it's back when he was trying to fit into the black culture and do the Slim Shady thing.
Pennies. I was just looking at I just want to be exposed. So I did.
I get it.
And then eventually I was doing really well on Vlad. Then I met Jamar on there. We would do stuff together. Then Vlad said, hey, man, if you want to ever guest host like Lunel and some of them did, I'll pay you. He eventually said, I'll pay you if you want to do that. And I didn't do that. I said, nah, I don't really have time to do that. But Vlad, me and Vlad, we all talked. Then here's what happened. During the COVID, I did Vlad on Zoom. you know, because we couldn't go into the studios. And I was doing a new video with Vlad, doing new videos with Vlad, just trying to stay relevant. I did my thing. Vlad called me and said, hey, man, is everything cool? Cool. I said, yeah, everything's cool. What's up? Like, I didn't know what was going on with this whole minister shit. I didn't know. So then people were DMing me, man, you gonna still be tap dancing for Vlad and shit. Fuck that dude. And I didn't know I was like, what the fuck's going on? Then Elijah Farrakhan sent me a voice DM and said, beloved brother.
Shout out to Elijah Farrakhan.
He said, Elijah Farrakhan, he said.
Now, no matter how you feel about Farrakhan, if you get an email, voice message, whatever from him, you're gonna listen.
Brother, when he said beloved, I said, oh shit. He said,
That's
beloved, listen, we would like to talk to you, the minister and all of us, we would like to talk to you respectfully. We love what you do, brother. We are on your side. And, you know, being from Chicago, I used to go see him. I used to go to the Savior's Day when I was 18. Yeah. So they go, brother, we would love to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. So Rizza Islam had my back, whatever. Then West Coast Cam from L.A., he's the muscle of FO. He goes, yo, God, he makes me a video, say, Godfrey, man, you know, we fuck with you in the West Coast. Yo, we got to talk to you. Then Royce the 5'9", then my son, the General. They were all DMing me. I said, what is going on? So then when I found out what he did, me and Lord Jamar was like, yo, we got to talk to, we called Vlad and talked to him about it and say, hey, man, why don't you, I think you should give the guy, you know, Mr. an apology, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, well, I already gave an apology. We said, we read the apology. You issued it like you were fucking Walgreens, man. It was like a company. We're sorry that this happened.
Terrorists.
Yeah, and then he said.
Because he just doesn't care nor respect us. Why would you apologize for people that you don't respect?
Well, I want to sit down with the minister, and everybody was like, who the fuck are you to want to sit down? We don't even get to sit down with him. So that happened, and then he stood on 10 toes, and then Lord Jamar on the phone said, you know what? Fuck it then. We gonna go our way, you go your way. And I went with him, I said, yeah. This because I thought it was the right thing to do if he's not gonna apologize. And then I said, Nick Cannon apologized when he insulted your people, when you felt insulted. When Nick Cannon, they all apologize, but you can't apologize when it comes to our leaders. You can't apologize. I don't give a fuck if it's Al Sharpton. You know, it's a black man. And so you're making money off of us, but you can't.
Same thing with Al Sharpton. Even though there are rumors that he has worked or is working for the government or whatever, again, if Al Sharpton left you a voice message or gave you a call, you're going to listen. There's just some people who are still living history figures that if they give you a call, you're going to listen and pay attention. You may not agree, but you're going to listen.
Apologize to, you know, when in this situation, right. All we're good for.
And also, even though I'm not the biggest Al Sharpton fan, I wouldn't be okay with anybody outside of our community insulting him for no reason, because they wouldn't get the reason.
So, but I didn't have a beef with him. It's okay to be like, all right, we stand on business. But even though I know Vlad said a couple things about me, but I didn't even answer. I was like, I don't have a beef with the guy, man. It's just that we have different opinions about certain things, and I went about my business.
Anybody
right?
got a problem with Minister Farrakhan is a beef.
And then listen, and then from there he says, oh yeah, I think he's going to go back on Vlad. I said, I never said that. I'm never going black. He said he's talking to him now. That's just, what grade are we in? What grade are you in? Bro, I was like, I'm not going back on there because if I did, it would ruin everything I stood for. People would be like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would I do that?
So to be honest with you, right, on surface of what you're saying, I don't see it. I thought it was some underlying shit that the rest of us are not privy to, because it does not make sense what he's doing right now.
It doesn't make sense.
Is it something that we don't know about? Because it's not.
Because he could easily.
It's not adding up, and that's Lord. I argue for you because everybody be like, yo, he ain't the best one, and I don't agree with that. I think Brand New being all
First
three
of
different
all,
MCs.
I always respected Brand New, and I never said
as a rapper.
Just this debate is what all this reviews. But I'm like, it's just weird. Like now it's
Lord,
like now it's shit. When I was little, like the girls be like, you talk like a white dude, like that's the ignorant shit. Like grown man. Wait, these are grown. It's shit.
It out, man.
You know the shit he's doing is the shit that my friends used to tell me. when I was little. Like the girls be like, you talk like a white dude. Like that's the ignorant shit. Like,
You know, I used to hate that. When I was younger, I used to get called Oreo. They said that I was black on the outside, but white on the inside because of the way I talk. So I get that 100%.
grown man. Wait, these are grown men that are telling you, oh, it's about education, educate ourselves. All the songs you was rapping about, education, knowledge, and you're saying that a black person that's speaking articulate. My father was an educator for 45 motherfucking years in Chicago, and the Disciples and the Vice Lord protected my dad, and the Black Stone Rangers on the west side of Chicago. My father's been on that side for a long time. And my father, who was a disciplinarian, 100%. I'm supposed to. Wow.
No,
okay.
100%. No, you right.
I'm just saying.
Okay. You right.
You do talk corny. So
I'm sitting here trying to think. I can't think of a single white person that you sound like. I'm sitting here trying to like match your voice to a single white person. And so if you speak properly as a black man, that's just that. There's like, you know, it goes together. But you
your
don't
black
speak
comedian. Do your
like
black comedian.
a white guy. I can't find a single white man in my head.
Arthur Ashe was a sellout. Malcolm X, when he got out of jail, he was a sellout.
Louis Farrakhan speaks.
Y'all lying to me. Something happened.
I mean, people say the same thing about me.
Farrakhan plays Farrakhan, so he's a sellout. I don't get it.
No, something happened, man. Y'all not telling me. Something happened.
I didn't
It ain't
do
making
anything
sense
to the
to
guy.
me. Something happened.
I didn't do shit to him. I'm
What
telling
you do?
I didn't.
No, that's what he said.
No,
He said this chunky pimp, this
It's
chunky pimp guy.
No, he said pimp.
He said this lovable, huggable chimp.
A lot of disrespect.
What the fuck?
'Cause I got a better
way.
one. How can we fix it?
Huh?
How can we fix
Fix
this?
what? He thinks we set him up. I don't know what set you up.
You asked for the debate.
He's a 5%. I think this could be worked out.
Now, one thing I will say is that if you're going to go do a debate about a scientific topic that you're not an expert in, and you choose to smoke some green before a debate, that's 100% your fault. I understand that sometimes you want to do stuff to help us relax and maybe he thought it'll make him perform better and get his thoughts flowing better, but at the exact same time, I know that's his friend. I don't think he would ever drug him to make him mess up intentionally, but you never know the potency of what somebody else is smoking. But let's just leave it at that. So, you know, that was completely Jamar's fault. If he's a grown man who's probably a grandfather. I think he has enough sense of when to partake in recreational substances before a big debate. Even though it's not with the person that you wanted to be, you can consider it as a warm-up. Because think about it, if he would have did exceptionally well on that debate against that science, I've got his name now, and Neil deGrasse Tyson saw that, he would have probably reached out to him to do a debate on his own show. So, you know, it's things like that that you think about when you have a more goal-oriented mindset.
100%er. You need to be 100%er. You know.
The problem was he didn't want to take the L. That's the problem.
Ah, damn.
He took the L and he didn't want to take the L.
And Crazy Legs was like. It's all about
No, not them. I'm just shouting them out. Those are my brothers. My man.
Yo, that nigga's the end all. You don't get to decide nothing. Check my cred. Just ask around, nigga. Ask around Brooklyn.
Your shit go to I just get back to my man, Crazy Legs.
So I just Googled it. Lorenzo DeCaulis, known professionally as Lord Jamar, is a Guyanese American rapper.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell, oh, Mike comes through. Oh, shit. Wait a minute.
Time out.
Wait a minute.
His parents.
Wait a minute.
We're not doing that.
Shit.
I'm not letting y'all do that.
This goes out to the black Republicans.
I gotta say.
Yo.
No.
Don't do
His
that.
parents is foundational.
Why?
All it takes is one parent. One is foundational black. All it takes is one parent.
No. Guyanese American. Sorry, it didn't say.
No,
I would be Nigerian American. Wait a minute.
Both of your parents from Nigeria.
It said Guyanese American. Why is that Google?
And that's what Google says.
Hey,
Listen,
I don't, and I'm sure he'll be
believe
like this.
everything? Google said.
I think that you guys.
Listen,
Hey, yo, I think you guys heard that
Google ain't said.
they said that I am Guyanese
One of his
American.
parents is. Nah, we spoke. Me and
It just said
all
it.
jokes aside, me and
Look at it. Says Guyanese American rapper.
spoke to him about that. I had
Is
a
it-
conversation with
Wait,
him.
wait, wait.
All it takes is one parent. My both
No,
my parents.
but I'm sorry. Both your parents are.
Saying that, you said it once. You keep repeating.
Yo, what are they saying in the chat?
Reiterate that because y'all trying
Guyanese
to.
American. Guyanese American. What does it say?
That mean. Hold on,
Yo,
Lord.
that's-
Yo, Lord, you infiltrating the FBA? Fuck going on right now?
Yo.
Nah, he told me.
I'm sorry. It said Guyanese American.
Guyanese.
Wait, Mike's getting ready to tell you.
The chat is saying Jamar was born in Guyana and moved to NYC around 8.
Get your ass out of here. No,
No,
son.
no. We.
No, son.
It's Guyanese New Rochelle. It's a Guyanese
nigga.
New Rochelle.
No. Guyana, New
I'm not letting
Jersey.
y'all steal Lord Jamar.
No.
I'm not letting y'all do that.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, like this is the point. Nobody
But I don't-
even
no one cares. I don't-
What I'm saying is
No, I'm
this:
just saying.
you took the
Hold
L. You took the L
Hold
because
up.
you was talking
Y'all
shit.
saying Lord Jamar wasn't born in America?
I was born in
Hold on,
America.
read that shit again.
I think I would be more American than him.
Hold on, that I didn't know. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I didn't know
I'm
that
born in
part.
America, though.
Time
But
to
he
fuck
wasn't.
out.
Wait, you
Hold
was
on,
born in-
I
God.
was born in Nebraska.
Put that shit up again.
You
What?
didn't know that?
I thought you.
What
I was
that
born
say?
in Lincoln, Nebraska. My
Nebraska.
father went to school in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I grew up
That's
in
why you
Chicago.
talk like that.
That's why.
Go ahead,
That's
what you
what's
was
your
saying?
problem. And no, there wasn't a there was
ugly.
no
I don't like
lawsuit.
it.
There was no lawsuit.
I don't
but
like
he
it.
threatened
He
a
threatened, he
lawsuit.
threatened a lawsuit.
I don't like
He
it.
said, I don't, I didn't. Sue me.
Yeah, I didn't like it when I saw it. I mean,
It was like, when I,
Like he says, I was off my square. You said you have
still that.
everybody in college.
he did pay me this. I would have said it. I would have been like, yeah, he's right. You
It was offered 20.
put
I'm not
thousands in my
about to be
pocket.
instant.
I'm not going to watch two 50-year-old niggas fight. That's
But
what
if
I'm.
you-
Pyro, I'm honestly not watching two 50-year-old niggas fight.
I beat up a 50-year-old nigga recently on Celebrity Boxing. You ain't watched that?
No. It's
What are you
such
talking
bullshit.
about?
I was like,
Jamal
wow. This, I would have said it. I would have been like, yeah, he's right. You paid me thousands. Are you out of your? You don't even have thousands
thousands
to
of
pay me.
dollars in your
You don't have
pocket.
thousands to pay me. I'm just saying, it's not. It's like you don't have thousands to pay me. You
Oh,
don't have thousands to pay me.
He said that it was offered 20.
Comedy clubs have thousands to pay.
25,000 to fight.
I don't know.
said 50.
It was
He said
50K. I don't know about that shit. I don't know anything about that. But
Well,
for him to
alright.
say he put
I'm
thousands in
about
my
to be an
pocket
instigator.
is such bullshit.
If
It's
Crazy
like-
Legs,
it's
Crazy
such
Legs
bullshit.
and
I was
Lord
like,
Jamar
wow.
fight, who you putting your money on?
I did all your shit for free, sir. Everything I
putting
did
your
for
money
free,
on
which
the
I had no
cr-
problem with.
If Crazy Legs and Lord Jamar was a fight, who you putting your money on?
Here's what I'm doing. I'm not going to watch two 50-year-old niggas fight. That's
But
what I'm not doing.
if you had to with a gun in your hand,
I don't gamble.
well, I beat up.
This
So
is-
you ain't gonna watch this. Be wrong. Horse
All right, we have to end of this. So
Niggas crazy legs and
this is kind of a shame. You know, two old friends that stood by each other, supported each other, not beefing each other. It kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. If you watched this far, go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Thank you.